Today's session is entitled From Paralysis to Prosperity with PLM, a view from the executive suite. And it seems even more fitting today than ever when you look at the economy, retail and technology. Our audience today includes PLM software vendors, PLM buyers, PLM users, and also PLM consultants. And everyone sees the PLM landscape in their own way. But before we jump into that, what are your current thoughts about the global retail and manufacturing landscape today?
It really has dramatically changed. Based on the global recession, we are seeing across all distribution channels and multiple industries a shift in the consumer demand. And everyone, be it small companies, big companies, cross industries, is dealing with this differently. The one thing that we know with less demand is that we have to reduce our workforces, we have to change our processes, we have to find more efficiencies within our supply chain. And most importantly, we have to create more innovation so we can stimulate the consumer to come back and purchase great fashion products.
That's great. So let's talk a little bit about strategy, Denise. When you look at today's challenges, and you mentioned a few, cutting costs, reducing the workforce, being more efficient with your processes, where does investing in technology like PLM, which can be somewhat costly, come into play? PLM is improving time to market, lowering costs, helping collaboration. Is it a no, let's wait because the economy is bad, or should people think let's do something even if small? Or maybe should people think let's do it now, it's better to do something now? What do you think about that?
I think it all depends on the company. And there are different needs for different companies. However, technology is the future. And when we think about the technology around us, the internet, the e-commerce marketing, the e-commerce model, social networking, the whole world has changed. And technology will provide us with a future that we can't really predict today. So I think PLM is going to be an imperative for the future.
And do you think smaller companies should look at it differently than a larger company?
The needs of a smaller company are different usually than the needs of a bigger company. A bigger company is looking for agility, flexibility, has matrixed organizations that need to be collaborative across multiple brands, across multiple functions, across multiple geographies. A smaller company might need a smaller program.
That makes sense. So let's talk a little bit about leadership. When an organization thinks of implementing PLM, who's typically driving this? Is this coming from the board, somebody who's heard about PLM? Is it the executive team or maybe IT or the supply chain? Depending on where it is initiated, what is the right way for one of these teams to get a project like PLM, which requires budget and buy-in and resources? How do you get it adopted? Can you share what you would require from an organization that you would run to sign off and write that PLM check?
It's interesting. The advocates of technology change in PLM usually are across the company. And it's the networking of PLM with certain executives, obviously on a senior level throughout the company. Usually the CIO will drive whatever the users want. But it starts with someone saying, I need a solution to my merchandising and design. I am not competitively, or I'm not competitive, or I'm competitively disadvantaged. So they may bring in somebody that they know or have heard of, and then be an advocate for changing the system. As far as the budgeting and the control and the implementation, that usually lies under the CIO's responsibility. And the CIO will then speak with the CEO and say, you know what, here is a program that we think we should look at, invest in, and we'll come back to you with what the benefits are. Once you've established the benefits, it's really important to understand the return on the investment. And then the CEO, depending on scope of the project, will make decisions about how to put it into the planning process, how to present it to the board if a board needs to be part of it